In this tutorial series, we will be making a zombie survival shooter game inside of Unity. This is the 9th part of the tutorial series. In this part, we will learn how to make the zombie chase us with the NavMesh. When the zombie comes close to us, he will try to attack us, and when he attacks us, we will get the visual of that he is attacking. We will be able to see that in our health bar, and when the zombie attacks us and with some certain damage, we will die. In the end of the video, we will be able to make this. So in the last 8 parts, this is what we were able to make. We made the movement, the vaulting, like this one, aiming, shooting, animation, and then ragdoll damage, the health bar for the enemy, and the ragdoll death, and all that, and then also the ammunition. And then after the ammunition is ended, as you can see over here, we can reload, and after the reloading, we can go back to do the full ammunition and then go on killing everyone. So this is what we made in the previous videos. If you have missed the previous videos, make sure you see the entire playlist. You can click the card on the top right corner over here and see the entire playlist first, and then you can come back and see this video. However, in this video we will learn how to make the zombie chase us and also damage us. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, I'm gonna go ahead and select all the zombies except the one, and I'm gonna simply delete them because all of them were for the testing purposes. And anyhow, this is the zombie that we made in the previous videos. Okay, now the first thing that I would like to do is everything that is static in this map should be marked as static. What I mean by that is that this thing over here will not move when the game plays, right? So everything like this one, everything like all of these with this and the floor, everything that is the map basically that will not move when the game plays should be marked as static. Over here, go ahead and say static for the navigation static, just like that. Click that and you say yes children, and there we go. Now as you can see, if I click anything, you will see that it is set to navigation static. Once you do that, you have to come back to the window, go in there and say AI, and in there you will find navigation, and in here you have to come to bake, and you simply have to say bake. And once you bake it, as you can see, there is a blue area kind of thing that basically it tells us where the player, the NavMesh agent, will be able to move around. Basically it is for the AI and the pathfinding. So this blue area is the area where the NavMesh agent will be able to move, and this basically helps in pathfinding. This basically is pathfinding. However, as you can see, the boundaries are a little too big. If you want to close them, you can simply go ahead and reduce the radius just like that and bake it again, and there you go. As you can see, the boundaries are now smaller. Now if I go ahead and select one of these, and if I move them, as you can see, the NavMesh is not updating accordingly. So this is one thing you have to keep in mind. Do not move, or if you have to move, you have to come back and say bake again so that the NavMesh is baked again. So this is one thing you have to keep in mind. Good, with that done, I can come out, and if I go to inspector, as you can see, the blue things are gone now. And once you have done that, you have to come back to your zombie like this one, and you have to say add component and say NavMesh agent. There we go. And once you add the NavMesh agent, basically now this guy has an agent. Yeah, what I mean by that is that this guy has now AI and the obstacle avoidance and pathfinding and all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the side view, and you will have to set up the agent collider and all that. So that will be radius. If I increase the radius, as you can see, it is over there. I will have to increase the height a little bit and increase the height until it matches. There we go. There we go. If you are able to see it from here, this is the agent height, and I'm gonna reduce the radius a little bit. There we go, set up properly. Good. Now the next thing is that we will have to assign him some object that he will have to follow and you know, do the pathfinding and all that. So how do we do that? Well, before we do anything, I want to let you guys know that those of you who are new to this channel or haven't seen any of my previous videos, then I'm going to let you guys know that we are using Playmaker instead of doing the actual coding. Playmaker is a really cool asset that helps you make games without writing a single line of code, and all of this that you just saw over here is made without writing a single line of code. If you want to get Playmaker, you can simply buy it from Asset Store, or you can get it for free. The link will be in the description box below. I personally will provide it to you guys for free because this is a really cool asset, but I recommend you guys to buy it because the developers are really cool and that will help them out. Anyways, so if you want to download this, you can click the link in the description box below and download Playmaker. Simply drag it inside of Unity, import it and install it. Once you import Playmaker, you will have this welcome screen over here. You have to go to install Playmaker, go ahead and make a backup, and then you will have to import it and you will be good to go. Once you have done that, you have to come back to the zombie and say add component and say FSM, which is a state machine of the Playmaker, and this basically is that keeps all the coding and all that. So I'm gonna rename this one to path finding, so that this one has the health bar, this is for the damage, and this one is for the path finding. I'm gonna go ahead and say edit, and if I go ahead and say NavMesh, you will see that there basically is no option or action for the NavMesh by the Playmaker. At least there is no built-in action. There's one that is called NavMesh Agent Animator Synchronizer, which basically is only for the animator, but it's not for the actual NavMesh. So what do we do now? Well, you will have to go ahead and click the link in the description box below again and download Playmaker Pathfinding folder. And once you download it, you simply have to drag it inside of Unity just like that. There we go. And once you have imported it, it will bring in new actions for the Playmaker, as you can see over here. And I have a whole lot of collection of the Unity assets. Yeah. So anyways, if I come back over here, it is processing, as you can see, and once it is done, you can come over here and say NavMesh again, and as you can see now there is a new tab for the NavMesh, as you can see over here, and that is pretty cool. So once you have done that, you have to come back again and say agent destination, which means NavMesh agent destination, and we're gonna say set agent destination as game object. So once you click that, you will get this, and we wanna go ahead and want this zombie to always follow the player, of course, right? So we're gonna simply drag in the player inside of the game object that we wanna get the destination, right? And if I play the game now, he should follow us, at least that is what it should do, and he should also do the obstacle avoidance. So as you can see, he is moving towards us, and if I go ahead and pause the game, go in the top view just like that, and see where the zombie is going, and if I come over here, as you can see, he is going around the obstacles, and he is doing his path finding, and he is not clipping through anything, or yeah, he is basically finding his path. So basically he's doing the path finding. If I come over here will he follow me on the top? Yet he is coming up. That is pretty cool. And when I come out, he can not jump, he will slide down and come over here. So this is the NavMesh. Of course the animations are not properly aligned and all that, so we will have to fix that much, but basically it is working. That is pretty cool. So of course he is gonna follow us all the time. So for the idle, we will be using running animation or walking animation. So if I go to the animations and go to zombie run, here I have an animation of the zombie running. By the way, if you want to know how you can get animations for free, you can simply go to mixmo.com, where you can find a whole lot of animations, and you can simply upload your character in there and also rig your character. That is pretty cool. And then you can find a whole lot of animations. This is the one that and as you can see, I have set it to rig to humanoid, and I went in ahead, and you have to click mark everything for now, so that he is playing the animation in his own thing. Otherwise he will start to move, and you will notice that the speed will multiply. Let me just quickly show you guys. If I apply it to there, go to the animator, select the idle, go ahead and drag in this animation just like that. All right, and if I play the game right now, you will see his speed will exponentially increase because of the speed of the NavMesh as well as the speed of the animation. So as you can see, he is just fucking running like crazy. Like the speed is really fast, that it should not be that fast. So so if I go ahead and come out of the game view now, select the zombie and make him loop at the same position just like that, and apply. And now if I play the game, you will see that the speed will be quite reasonable. And there we go. As you can see, the speed is really reasonable. That is not that fast, not that slow, because we can then easily kill him just like that. There we go. Now one thing that I just one thing that I just noticed is that he will still follow us while he is dead. That is not, of course, what we want. And there we go. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay, and the next thing that I just noticed is that when he is getting the damage, we want to slow him down. So these are the two things that we have to do. So if you go to the zombie and go to the damage, and this is the state in which we die, in which the zombie dies. Again, if you haven't seen the previous videos, make sure you see them. Yeah, so in this thing, we go ahead and activate the ragdoll, basically, right? So in here, what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and drag. We basically want to just disable that so that we don't move anymore. All right, so we're going to simply drag it in here, say set property, and we want to set the enabled property to false. There we go. Simple as that. Now whenever we die, whenever the zombie dies, we're gonna set this to disabled. If you don't believe me, then I'm gonna play the game again and show you guys that when the zombie dies, this is gonna disabled. And I'm gonna real quick take a headshot of the zombie. Headshot. There, shot. Oh, there we go. As you can see now, he died. Okay. But as you can see, he will no longer follow us, and we are getting an error, but we will fix that. But as you can see, he is no longer following us because the NavMesh agent is disabled. So that is pretty cool, but we are getting an error that is saying that it is no longer able to follow us, and this basically is the error because the NavMesh is now disabled and we can no longer follow us, so he is giving us an error. So in order to fix that, we can come into the damage FSM again, and instead of just disabling the NavMesh, we can simply also disable the Playmaker FSM of the zombie following us. So enabled to false. There we go. Simple as that. Now both of them will be disabled, so there will be no error. Also, there will be no following us when he dies. So that is done. Now if I go back to the damage, and this is the state in which the zombie gets the damage, he will do the hit animation, and his health will be decreased, and he's gonna wait for some time and come back to here. Now in here, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and decrease the speed. So we're gonna simply drag in the NavMesh agent, say set property, drag it up over here. Where the fuck is it now? Shit. Okay, it's gone. I don't know why, but fuck. Drag the NavMesh agent again, set property, and I'm gonna set the speed, drag this up just like that. Okay, let me see if everything is good. Yeah, now we're gonna set the speed, and we're gonna decrease the speed from 3.5 to 1 so that he does the animation, or we can, yeah, simple as that. Okay, save it and play the game now, and we should see that when we damage the enemy, he's gonna slow down a little bit. As you can see, he slowed down and comes. Okay, he keeps on slowing down. Shit, that is not what we want, but yeah, he slows down, and then he dies, and then he dies. Yeah, he does not follow us. But the thing is that when we slow him down, he slows down completely. But we want to copy this guy. Okay, okay, there is it. Copy this guy, and when we come back to this state, which is the normal state, we're going to come in here and we're going to set the speed to 3.5. That is the normal speed. Copy, paste. There we go. Now when we play the game, you will see that he will slow down for a little time when he is getting the damage. So play the game, hit him, and as you can see, he slows down and he comes back to his normal speed. Slow down, die. There we go. Simple as that. Shoot him on the butt and he jumps. There we go. So that is pretty cool. I like it. And now what we do, now the zombie following is done. Now we want to have the zombie attack us. So how does it attack us? Of course, he will not have any guns or anything because he's a zombie and he does not know how to use a gun. But when he gets closer to us like this, and then he gonna slap us, and when he slaps us for some time, we will die. So this is the main logic of the World War Z game. So how do we make him slap us? Well, first thing what we have to do is we will have to go ahead and add a collider in the zombie. That will be a capsule collider. If I see, okay, capsule collider. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and go into the side view, make the capsule collider big. There we go. Increase the radius, and that radius will be a little big because this will be the trigger that will see that. Okay, good. Now this trigger is looking good. Now we have to set it to trigger basically, and once it is set to trigger, as you can see, this is the area. If the player enters in this area, basically it is the death zone for the player. I'm gonna move the collider a little forward, just like that. Decrease the radius a little bit. If the player gets in this kind of area, which basically is the attacking area of the zombie, so when we come in here, we will basically get damage. So how do we do that? Is we add another FSM that will be zombie attack. So attack FSM, and this will manage all the attacking and all that. So when we say trigger event, and you want to say on trigger enter, basically it means when someone enters the trigger, and the collider tag should be player. So player, and make sure you select the player and set it to player tag. Where is it? Player. Come back to the zombie. Whenever the player enters this tag, we're gonna go ahead and say attack. Attack. And there we go. We're gonna add a new state, and bam. And we're gonna go ahead and say wait for some time. For now. And we're gonna test out. So wait for 0.5 seconds, and then we're gonna come back. Or we can wait for 1 second. Yeah, finished, come back, just like that. And now we're gonna see if it is properly working or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the zombie, and he's coming, and there we go. As you can see, we are in state 2, and he is trying to damage us. We're gonna run away, and he attacks us again. As you can see, he comes to in state 2, and yeah, he basically is attacking us. That is pretty cool. Now in here, we wanna go ahead and damage the player as well as do some damaging animation. So of course, for the animations, you can come to the mixmo.com, and this of course is Assassin's Creed Altair. Yeah, I'm doing something, but yeah, never mind that. So as you can see, there are some animations. I just searched for zombie attack, and here are some zombie animations. As you can see, this one is zombie attack, and he will do that. And then there's zombie attack 2, which basically slaps, and there's another one that basically again slaps. So we can go ahead and download one of these. This one looks good. I'm gonna download this just like that. And Altair basically has become the zombie, and yeah, never mind that. Once the animation is downloaded, you have to simply drag it inside of Unity. There we go. Go in here and again down, drag it inside of Unity. There we go. Once it is dragged inside of Unity, it will import, and here is Altair doing some slapping animation. You have to go to rig, set it to humanoid because the actual thing is set to humanoid. You have to come back to the animation and set these to that, and once that is done, you will see he will punch and slap and do his tongue. But as you can see, he's slapping in that direction. We want to slap in forward direction, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and rotate it in the forward direction so that he slaps in the forward direction. So one is that you have to say apply. Once it is applied, you have to go to the animator and drag in the slapping animation in here just like that. Slap. There we go. So this is the hit reaction, this is the idle, this is the death, which we don't use anymore because we are using a ragdoll. So I'm going to simply delete this guy, and here we go. I'm going to go ahead and make an animation from the idle. Basically it is running to here, which is attacking, and come back to the idle, which basically is running. So I'm going to rename it to run. There we go. And I'm going to make a boolean, or I'm going to call this one slap. And when the slap is through, we're gonna come in here, and when the animation is completed, we're gonna come back. Simple as that. Now we're gonna go to the zombie, and in here we're gonna go to the attack, and in here we're gonna say set animator bool, and the animator bool is slap. So there we go, and it's gonna set it to true, and we're gonna copy this, paste it in here, bam, false, which basically means yeah, it's false. Yeah, okay, so once that is done, it should do some animations of the slapping, and So he's gonna run towards us, and let's see if he slaps or not. And there we go, he slaps. There we go. But one thing that I'm noticing is that when he slaps, he should slow down. As you can see, he slides towards us. That is not what we want, so we of course want to decrease his speed when he is slapping. So come in here, come to the zombie and say edit in the attack one, and when he is attacking, we're gonna go ahead and drag in the NavMesh agent just like that. Set property, drag it up, and he vanishes. I don't know why. Set property, drag it up, and it son of a bitch. Set on, drag it in, set property, set the speed to 1, drag that up now, so that is good. Copy that, paste it in here, and set this to 3.5, the normal speed. So now when we play, you will see that he will slow down when he slaps us. That is pretty cool. That it should be cool. Okay, he is running and he slaps us and he slows down, and then he continues speeding up. What if I pause the game, come in here, set the speed to 0, unpause the game, and now when he slaps, he stops and then comes on. Okay, that looks good. So that is working properly. Now we can add the health of the player. So if I go to the player, so I'm gonna add a new FSM for the health, that is called health. New FSM basically because all the other FSMs are pretty complicated, not complicated, but it will get really complicated when we add another thing in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a new FSM, and this will be new one. This one only will contain the damage, so we basically are organizing everything. That is pretty cool. In here, what we're gonna do is we are gonna do basically the exact same thing that we did for the health of the enemy. So first thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna say set float set float value. There we go. And we're gonna go ahead and make a new global variable that will be player underscore health, and we're gonna set the value to, I don't know, 10. It is up to you. You can set it to 5. Let's set it to 5 for now, and of course we can change it later on. And then we're gonna go ahead and say wait for 0.5 or 0.1 second, 0.2 seconds, and then we're gonna go ahead and say next, finished. Bam, there we go. You can just control click to any state and make a next finished event, and finished. There we go. So when the game starts, we're gonna set the value of the health of the player to be 5, and then we're gonna wait for some time, and then we're gonna come in here in this state, and in this state we're gonna say float compare, float compare, and we're gonna compare the player's health, player health, with the float value of 0. So when the player health becomes equal to 0, we're gonna say die, or if it is less than 0, of course we want to make him die, and we're gonna set this to every frame so that we want to check it every second. So once we die, we're gonna come into new state, and that state will be death state, and that death state will be in which we're gonna do some animation and all that. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and, why is this over here? Okay, never mind that. So save that, and we're gonna go to the zombie, and for now let's just leave that for now, and we're gonna go to the attack FSM of the zombie, and we're gonna go ahead and say float add. So whenever the zombie attacks the player, we want to go ahead and say the global player health value should be decreased by 1, so add it by -1, which basically means decrease it by 1, and just do it once. And yeah, with that done, let's go back to the player and go to the health and play the game and see if we come in this state or not. Hopefully we should, after some damage that we get from the enemy. Of course there will be no visual thing going on that from which we will be able to see that he is basically damaging us or not, but hopefully we will do something. Look, so there's 3, there's 4, and as you can see we are in the state 3, which basically means we are now dead. That is pretty cool. Now after some damage, we should basically come in this state 3, which means we are dead. Of course there will be no visual thing to see that we are actually dead or not, but So here we go, he shoots, he kills us, he damages us again, he tries to damage us again, just like that, and now we basically should be close to death, and we die. As you can see, we come in the state 3, which basically means we are basically dead. So that is working. So of course for the death we will be needing some death animation. I'm gonna use this animation that is over here. You can of course find some animations from mixmo.com. I'm gonna go to the animator, select the player, and select the player, drag and drop the animation just like that, and this is the rifle death, just like that, right over here. And I don't think so that we will be needing any transitions, because we're gonna simply crossfade from any animation to this animation, simple as that. So we're gonna go to the player, go to the health, and when we die in the state 3, we're gonna say animator crossfade. There we go, and this basically will help us to crossfade from any animation to this animation. So we're gonna simply copy the name of the animation, paste it over here. Duration time will be 0.1 because we don't want to wait for any time, we just want to simply dive into this animation, and yeah, that will be it. Of course we will select the player and we don't want to move anymore, so we're going to simply drag the movement FSM, set property, of course the enabled to false. Firing, we don't want to fire, set property enabled false. We don't want any character controllers, simply false and enabled to false. We don't, what is this? This is for the reloading. I don't think so we will be needing any one of this, but reloading this, I don't know what this is, what the shit. Just delete that, and of course the health one. So I guess these 3 will be good enough when we play the game now. And for now let me just go ahead and set the health to 1. So pause the game, set the value to 1, and there we go. Now when we die, it's not set to 1. Okay, when he tries to kill us, and when finally we die, oh there we go, as you can see we are now dead, and he is doing the animation, and yeah, that is pretty cool. Now we are dead. Pretty awesome. Yeah, good. Now of course in the future videos we will make some animation and all that, that when we die there will be a screen pop-up UI thing that will say reload the level or do something like that, or reload from a checkpoint and something like that. But for now that will be good. So he dies and we cannot move anymore, and yeah, that will be dead. Now when the zombie damages us, when he is attacking us in this state, we want to show something that we are getting damaged. So how do we do that? Well, first thing will be that we will have some kind of an bar, health bar over here, that will show us our health bar, right? Health. So how do we do that is we go to the canvas. If you don't have any canvas, I already have it because of this animation and ammo. If you don't have it, you can simply get UI and a canvas. In the canvas you have to say right click, UI, and a text. And if I press F, as you can see, it is right over here. I'm gonna reset the transform and you will be able to see it over here. It's really small, but we can see it. I'm gonna, oh no, we don't want any text. Sorry, really sorry. We have to have some kind of a image. So just image. There we go. Now we have an image. Reset the transform so that it's in the center of the screen. It is right over here. We don't want in the center of the screen, so I'm gonna select the anchor, hold shift and alt, and bring it right over here or somewhere over here. It's up to you. I'm gonna place it over here. Here will be our health bar. Of course in the future videos we can simply change the location and all that, but next thing I'm gonna go ahead and make the health bar a little longer, just like that, or make it smaller and make it thinner. Just over here will be the health bar. I'm gonna set the color to red. There we go. Now you can see the health bar, and then I'm gonna go ahead and right click, create an empty game object in here, and bring it right in the corner as we did in the last video for the health of the enemy, just like that over here. And then drag the game object out, drag the image in there, and select the game object. Make sure the scale is 1:1:1. That is good. And now if I decrease the scale, as you can see the health is decreasing just like that. So this is what we're gonna use as we did in the previous videos, so no big deal. I'm gonna call this one health bar. There we go, and there we go. Good. Now we're gonna decrease the scale just like that on the basis of the health of the enemy. of the player, sorry. Okay, now of course we can move the health bar up around if we want to, but I'm gonna move it little up and little over here so that we can see the health bar, or just leave it there. It doesn't matter. Basically we can rearrange the UI in the future videos. We will make the UI really beautiful, but for now let's just leave it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the player and add another FSM. This one will be for the health bar. So if I go to the zombie, and in here we have a health bar FSM we already made in the last video, in which we get the FSM, we go to the float operator and set the scale. So I'm gonna simply copy this guy, go to the player and simply paste the values in here and say edit. There we go. Now in here what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and delete this guy. A float operator, in here we're gonna say global health player health. We're gonna divide it by 5 because we're gonna divide it equal to the health that we have when the player is starting. For now what I'm gonna go health, and I'm gonna set the health to 10, or just leave it to 5 and just divide it by 5 so that it becomes 1. And in here we're gonna go ahead and go to the canvas, drag in the health bar. There we go, and everything will be good to go. So if you don't know what we did over here, then you have to see the last video, but you can simply copy the same thing and just do the same thing. Now if I play the game, you will see the health bar is over here and it should remain the same size, just like that. There we go. And now when he comes over here and slaps us, as you can see the health bar has decreased. He slaps us again, the health bar has decreased. He comes and slaps us again, the health bar is little. He slaps us again, the health bar is a little. He slaps, oh there we go, we die. Bam, shit. So here we have the health bar doing his thing. We can simply make it a little smaller so that it is more noticeable, or more, you know, there we go. Make this small, make this thin. Now for the damage that will appear visually on the screen, that when we get damage, that should be a blood splatter kind of thing, red thingy around the screen that we see when the zombie hits us. What I mean by that is this kind of thing that we get when in the FPS or in any game, when we get damage, we get this kind of a screen thing. So you can simply download the PNG so that we don't have any background, and once you download it, you can simply drag it inside of Unity. I already have it like this one, or I can simply download it for you guys like this one. There we go. So we can simply say save image as, and it is PNG, save it, drag it inside of Unity in the assets, just like that, select it, and this is what we get. As you can see, the background is black. That is not what we want. So we can say sprite 2D and UI, apply it, and as you can see the max size is really big. We can decrease it to 1024, and there we go. Now we can go to the canvas, say right click, create a UI image, and hold alt enter or something, or what was it? Yeah, this one. Hold alt shift and click this guy so that it fills the whole screen. I forgot about it. Hold alt shift and click this one, and so that it fills the whole screen. Then simply drag in the UI image, and there we go. As you can see, we have the thing going on. That is pretty cool. So I changed the image to this one that looks really good. If you want to download this, I think I will have a link in the description box below. So as you can see, this one looks much better than that one. So yeah, on the basis of opacity, we can simply set it. So when we have little damage, we can set the opacity to this much. When we have more damage, and then of course we die. So how do we set it? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and make a little animation for the image, for this guy, this thing that will look something like this. Alright, so whenever we get damage, this will show up like this and then come back just like that. So we're gonna go to the window, go to the animation, and select the animation tab just like that, and you will be able to see this. Select the image and say create, and I'm gonna go ahead and call this animation. Come back all the way in here, go to the assets, go to the animations. I'm gonna call this one damage image, and I'm gonna go ahead and say hit record. Select this guy and select this guy and change it, and as you can see, we have now a keyframe. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go to 30 seconds or 0.3 seconds or 0.3, I don't know what, and go ahead and increase the opacity a little bit, and then come back to 1 second, copy this keyframe, paste it in here, so it looks something like this. Alright, bam. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over here, and basically what we will do is when we play the game, the animation should be playing just like that. As you can see, the animation is playing. Good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go to the zombie, and whenever we are getting the damage, we are gonna enable that. So when the zombie is attacking, we're gonna say activate the game object. The game object will be, specify the game object to be the image, just like that. Drag it in here and activate it. Copy this, paste it in here, and deactivate it when we are not getting the damage. That will take care of everything. So now we have a health bar, and then we should have some kind of a thing going on. So when he attacks, as you can see, we get that subtle thing that looks pretty cool. Now he comes again and he attacks us. There we go. Now we again see it. That is pretty cool. He comes again and tries to attack us, and we see that again, and then we simply fucking kill him. There we go. So I went in ahead and added these 11 or 12 zombies. I'm gonna play the game and see if everything is properly working. They should follow us, they should be able to damage us, and we should be able to die and have some good things. So these guys also die, and oh shit, I'm getting damaged, and as you can see, that looks pretty shitting cool. I'm gonna shoot them, and I'm gonna run now. Okay, as you can see, some of them have died. I'm gonna shoot them again, try to make some headshots, and when they come closer, they are gonna slap me and I die. Oh shit, I'm gonna die. There we go. So this and they're having some party. So this is the thing. This is the thing. This is really beautiful. I like it. This is the zombie game. Now of course in the next videos we will make some more advancements, like we are going to add some perfect UI, and there was a lot of request on making some pickup ammunition thingy, so I will try to make that also. And yeah, that will be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you don't want to miss any future videos, make sure you subscribe and get and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload any tutorial video. And yeah, that will help me a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.